Welcome back to another episode of Supersonic Self-Love. I'm your host, Mary England, or Uncustomary. We are in episode 11. I'm excited. And today we are going to be talking all about resolutions and goals. So it is that time of year. I'm wearing a Happy New Year tiara and some beads, but no matter when you're watching this video, if you are interested in making a goal, this can apply to you. This is just that time of year where people are talking about resolutions, so I'm going to get into it and you can just apply this to yourself as needed. So before we dive in, as usual, I want to draw some affirmations. I'm using the Notes from the Universe on Abundance deck by Mike Dooley. He has some great decks. And I drew two, like I've been doing. And the first one is, so much more awaits you. There will come a day when you look back at where you've been, where you are now, and call those your warm-up years. More love, more fun, more friends, more laughter, more thoughts, more things, more, lots more. And I like that. It's not that we can't like what we have now, but we're always ramping up to something. And we can think back to where we were 5 years ago and be like, I can't believe that I have what I have now, and always feeling that gratitude for progressing more and more. And then the other one that I pulled says, plan the celebration now. Sweep the floor, clean the slate, pick a date, window shop, buy a few things, go out on a limb, rearrange the furniture, pick some flowers, take some time off. No, not necessarily because the tipping point has been reached, but because this is how you reach it. So before I let all this loose and talk about goals and resolutions and tips on how we can make these things happen, I want to let you know that on December 23rd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Baltimore time, I am doing a live event exclusively for the Uncustomary Babes membership group. I'm going to be going all on about 2019, how to reflect on it, how to be grateful and understanding and reflective about 2019 before we jump into 2020, and then talk about 2020 and how we can go in with a beautiful bang and just make all of our dreams come true. I have worksheets, I've got affirmations, I've got journaling prompts, I've got pre-made resolutions for you. I'm going to be doing a live tapping, and I've got so many exclusive tips on how to make your goals real. So if you are not an Uncustomary Babe, that's the only way to get access to this live event, and you can join now as a monthly subscription member, or I have just recently made an option for you to become a yearly subscriber. So you can save 15% on your subscription by clicking one button, and you miss all those monthly payments, and you basically invest in yourself for an entire year. A bunch of people have already done it and switched over from the monthly payments, which I think is a really, really great option. And it's also about just like investing in yourself. So we're talking about goals. We'll come back to this, but I just wanted to pop that in for you. If you're already an Uncustomary Babe, put it on your calendar. Yes, there will be a replay, but there's going to be something about live energy that we're having. So, okay, goals and resolutions. First thing we want to do is think about your why. So, this is a big question. Now, what do you want to do here, on Earth? What do you want to accomplish? What is your purpose? And sometimes we don't really have an answer to that. So maybe what is your long-term goal? What is something that you want to focus on bigger? We want to look, the purpose of this question is the goal that you're working on right now serving that long-term goal, serving that purpose, serving your reason that you're here? Is the thing that you're working on now a distraction from that? Is it a tangent? Is it something that you are just doing for the sake of doing, or is it helping you serve something bigger? So you want to also keep asking yourself why, and keep saying So why do I want to do this? And keep asking yourself. So like if I said, I want to be profitable in my business, I'd be like, okay, why do I want to be profitable? Okay, so I can pay my bills. Okay, so why do I want to pay my bills? Well, so that I don't feel stressed out and I have a place to live. Okay, well, why do I want to do that? Well, because I want to have a place to operate my business from and not be scared so that I can operate like at a higher level and I can take care of myself so that I can help others. So why do I want to help others? Well, because I believe that it's like I went through a lot of hell just so that I can help others, and that's my purpose in life. And I want to be able to help other people with their self-love journey in their bodies. So like you see how it gets deeper and deeper as you go down, and that's a pretty quick dive, but that's just for you. It's like you want to keep asking why until you get down to your baseline. And you asking your why goes down to remind you of your most intrinsic level of motivation. So like me saying that I want to help other people be happy and love themselves and their bodies is coming from a place of me not feeling like that before and feeling like that's my purpose here. So that's something that's intrinsically motivated in me. Your why isn't going to work for you if it's something that's extrinsically forced upon you. So like if you think that you should lose weight because that's how you should look, because we tell you that that's not me, but like society tells you that that's something that you should do. If you think you should be married or you should have a house because you're a certain age or whatever, like it's not gonna work. Your why has to come from within you. And that also goes from like just the idea of making a goal because it's January 1st. Like you are way more likely to keep a goal if it's like a random Tuesday and you decide it's time for me to make a change, than if you just make a goal because you think you're supposed to be making a goal and society is telling you it's resolution time. Like you don't have to make a goal because it's January 1st. You really don't. If it's coming from within you, that's awesome. And sometimes a new year can operate as a clean slate and that can be inspiring, but don't do it just because you're supposed to. That's not going to work. Okay, so when we think about our goal, then we want to write it down. And we want to do two things with this. We want to make sure that our vocabulary is on point. Vocabulary is very important. And then we want to also be specific. So what I mean by that with vocabulary being important is you want to think about if you want to call it a resolution or a goal. It's kind of been said that goals tend to feel better to us. Resolutions feel like this weird thing that again, feel kind of pushed on us. So if you want to call it a goal, yeah, go for that. You want to stay away from absolutes. And by that, I mean using words like never and always, because really that's not only unattainable, but it shouldn't be the case, I think, for a lot of things. You know, I was in line somewhere the other day and, I was in line at like the dollar store and the guy in front of me said, "Oh, it looks like you're busy," to the cashier. And it's like, first of all, don't shut up. She knows. And then he was like, "That's always a good thing." And I said, "That's not true." Like, always busy is never a good thing. Always anything is never a good thing, right? Like we can have too much of anything or too little of something. Always and never are not always true, right? Okay, so stay away from absolutes in your goal wording, in your vocabulary of how you're writing these. You don't want to say never. You don't want to say always. You want to keep it open a little bit. And you also want to avoid words like can't, like restricting yourself necessarily. Focus it on in a more positive light. You want to nix the word try. We are not saying try. We are saying I will, I do. Yes, I'm doing these things. And you also want to nix the word should. Remember, this is not about what you should be doing. It's about what you want to do. Okay. And again, be positive. So if this is, weight is such a good example, and if you want to be healthy and losing weight as a result of that, that's one thing. But like making a goal to lose weight is a very tricky thing, because why is that you want to do that? So it has to come from wanting something good for yourself. What do you want to feel like? What do you want to look like? How does that work for you? There's nothing wrong with changing the way your body looks, with adding tattoos, with getting piercings, with getting more muscle, with losing weight. There's nothing wrong with any of those things, but it has to come from self-love, not self-hatred. You can't guilt, shame, or hate yourself into looking the way that you want to do, because it's not going to work. You're not going to accomplish the goal. You're just going to feel worse once you get there. And again, go big with your goals. Like you want to go big. You want to it's better to, like, you don't want to set yourself up for disappointment. You want to say, I'm going to try to do this, or you don't want to say like, well, I'm probably not going to be able to do that, so I'm going to say I'm going to do half of that. I think it's better to say, okay, I want to read 10 books, but I'm going to say I'm going to read 20, because then I'm going to push myself to read more. And if I don't get there, I still did like half of it, right? Do you know what I mean? So like go big with your goals. And being specific is really important. So it's okay to have, I think, overarching goals of how you want to feel. So like one of my goals this year is I want to feel good, but like what supports that? What supports me feeling good? So like tapping makes me feel good. Adventuring makes me feel good. So make a list. Like I'm in my live event, I'm going to be going into this like way more in depth, and specifically how I'm personally restructuring this concept a bit for myself this year for the very first time. And instead of being super specific and measurable for each individual goal, I'm doing it a little bit differently this year. So if you want to know that tip and that secret, join in for the live event and join Uncustomary Babes to find out. Remember, there's a replay available. But so again, with the book idea, so if you want to read more, what does that look like? How will you acquire those reading materials? How many books do you need to get in a month? How many books do you want to read in a year? How does that break down into a month? How many pages do you have to read in a week or a day to meet that goal? So breaking it down and looking at it in chunks is actually really helpful, and it can actually feel less daunting. So like 20 books in a year might feel like, oh God, how do I do that? But then if you're like, okay, well, let's say a book is 250 pages, and then you multiply that by 20, and then you divide it by 52, then you have your page count for the week. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't actually look that bad when you're like, oh, I can read that many pages in a day. That's not that bad. And it feels more tangible. It feels more realistic. Also, if you're measuring something that is going to fluctuate or change over time, like if you're increasing your flexibility or you're like trying to clean your house and declutter, it helps and feels good to take baseline measurements and or pictures at the beginning, like before you're starting. Like how many times were we like, I wish I would have taken a before picture of this? So do that. Like before you're starting, take those measurements, take those pictures, and then schedule a time like every month or whatever your quarter is, whatever the timeline is for you, to take more progress measurements and pictures. Okay, now we want to envision it. So make a vision board. I know that it feels like the secret and bullshitty and silly, like everyone's doing it, but it helps and it works and it feels good. So you can do it digitally. You can make a collage. You can do it in person. You can use images from the internet to print out and make. That's what I do. It can be feelings, it can be places, it can be words, it can be specific things. Like if you want to move to New York, you can print out a picture of Manhattan and put it on your vision board. It can be whatever you want. And you can also put the digital version as like a background on your phone. You could take a picture of it if you make a real one and put that as a background on your phone. And it helps you like to check in with yourself and be like, oh, am I working towards this, or am I dicking around on Instagram? So I made my vision board. I have an annual date with Maura, my best friend, to make my vision board. We do it together. And then what we did, which I recommend doing, is doing a tapping. Brad Yates has a really great one on manifesting. And you're supposed to do it while you look at your vision board. And gosh, it really, really felt good. Like, and it was interesting to like look and gaze around at the vision board and think about like why certain things were stirring up. But like, as I was saying, like, I deserve this. And like, which ones were like, yeah, I do deserve that. And certain ones were like, oh, do I with that one? And it's interesting to like see which ones feel harder to you to feel like you can get those. You can also close your eyes and just do some deep breathing and or meditating while you imagine your vision board or look at it, whatever you want to do. And then also to write down what it would look like and feel like to actually have accomplished these goals. So like pick a thing, pick a goal, pick a something from your vision board, pick up just the goal that you have and imagine you've accomplished it and write down how you look, how you feel, where you are, what you see, what you smell, what you taste, like all the things where you like of where you are when you have accomplished it and write it down. That's manifesting. You also want to educate yourself. Read up on your specific goal and everything around it. Ignorance is not bliss in this specific thing. When we are talking about accomplishing our goals, we do not want to be ignorant. Take a class or read articles and books about this thing. It's only going to benefit you on gaining more perspectives and having tools and knowledge on that thing that you are trying to do. And remember that we don't have to reinvent the wheel for everything. Like, and plenty of people have gone before you and done something. Like, even if you feel like the thing that you are doing is super fucking unique, and babe, I bet it is, but that doesn't mean that there's not like a structure or a tool out there that someone's done that you can identify with and use to help you do what you want to accomplish, if only if it's a technique. Remember, you can still be affected by things that you don't know. If you know stuff, it can help you. Okay. It is okay to start small. Remember, your dreams should be big. But if they're not making you a little uncomfortable and a little bit scared, they're probably operating inside your comfort zone, and that is not where growth happens. It's not what we want. So, but like, it's still okay to nudge into your comfort zone. You can not become a totally different person overnight. You can't say, I'm going to make 6 figures. I'm going to run 10 miles every day. I'm going to get married and have kids and I don't know, like if all of these things are on the opposite end of the spectrum, like overnight, you can't do all those things. You got to like focus on one thing at a time. You got to do things nudge in increments. Like you just can't become a totally different person overnight. It's just not realistic. It's not feasible. And big swings like that, like fancy fixes, stuff like that, like they don't last. It's like why fad diets don't last and all those things. It's got to be a lifestyle change. So baby steps are okay, especially in the beginning. Inching outside of your comfort zone, one toe at a time, is totally okay. And you can come back in. You will get more comfortable with every step that you take out. And over time, you will step out further and further and longer as time goes on. You just don't give up. Like you're not supposed to be perfect. Like you're just not. You're not supposed to be perfect, and you are not going to do everything all at once. You can't. Everything takes practice, and the journey towards accomplishing your goals is self-love. It takes a lot of self-compassion and kindness as much as it takes tough self-love. So, rewarding yourself is really good. You can come up with a reward system, whatever that means for you. I'll have a PDF download that you can grab. Joe made it for me for something that I was trying to do. It was actually something that I was trying to, a bad habit I was trying to get rid of, but it's actually really sunshiny and fun. And it's really cool. Like the way he made it is a place where there's just circles and you can do whatever you want with it. You can draw a smiley face in, you can add a sticker, you can, I don't know, write something in there. It's really, really open to interpretation, and it could be for anything you want it to be. So put it on your wall. But I warn you, know your personality. Is missing a day on this reward chart going to ruin your mood? Is looking at that and seeing a gap going to make you feel weird or ruin your streak or make you want to give up? Know yourself. The idea is that it shouldn't, right? Like not that you can't feel that way. I feel that way. But you want to keep going either way. So if that's going to prevent you from doing stuff, then maybe don't put up a reward calendar, a reward sheet. Just know that about yourself. And also remember within this reward system that it's okay and necessary to take breaks. Taking breaks is important, and it should be incorporated into your schedule. Not just necessarily like a cheat day, but a break. Take a break. We also want to stay present. If you come up with a system for what you want to do every day, every week, every month, whatever, and you miss something, like I just said on this reward chart, do not berate yourself and don't give up because you ruined your streak. Like, I know how sucky it feels to have that gap on your reward chart. I have OCD and it hurts. It physically hurts to look at it. I know how it feels, but that does not mean we stop going. If it means you take that reward chart off the wall, that's okay. But you keep going. Remember that the road to success gets less and less crowded because of how many people give up. Like something like 90% of people give up on their New Year's resolutions. Like if you can be in that 10%, you've got it. Keep going. All right, being present. Living in the past means that you're worrying about things you can't change. So if you already missed a day or didn't do something yesterday, you can't go back and change it. So focus on today. You can make today count so you can get a sticker on your reward chart today. Like, let's do that. And living in the future means that you are worried about not being able to accomplish things on another day that hasn't happened yet. Like, or maybe not being able to accomplish it at all. So and you have no idea if that's true or not. So if you can stick to what you're doing today, then you will get there. Maybe it won't be on the schedule that you plan. Things change, but that's okay. And just come back to today, come back to the present and focus on how you can do something today that future you will thank you for. Okay, so that is my goal thing in a wrap up for episode 11 of Supersonic Self-Love. Now, remember, for some other tips on how to reflect on this past year with gratitude, positivity, and understanding before moving into the next year, join me for my live event on December 23rd at 3 p.m. in the Uncustomary Babes Group. There will be a replay available afterwards. I also have affirmations for reflection, affirmations for goal setting and manifesting, tons of journaling prompts, worksheets, a live EFT tapping session, and I'm going to be going over additional topics that we didn't cover today, like how to eliminate deprivation, accountability, choosing a word or theme for the year, creating a goal-friendly environment, ditching perfectionism, abundance tips like feng shui for your wallet, and so much more. So join the Uncustomary Babes group now and you'll get instant access. And it's just at uncustomary.org/membership. The link is below. And from now until December 30th, you can get a yearly membership for 15% off. You save 15% off your entire membership for the year, and you skip those pesky monthly payments and just pay one time where you invest in yourself for an entire year. Investing in yourself is a revolution for resolutions. So looking to make your goals count in 2020, looking to up your self-love game, looking for amazing resources for personal development, looking for a supportive community that treasures all of these things, the Uncustomary Babes Group is the place to be. Join now for the monthly plan or the yearly plan, whatever suits your needs, and I will send you your membership card through the mail, and you can join instantly and get access to the live video on December 23rd or after you join, because there will be a replay because it'll be saved. And I really hope you can join live. I think there's really a cool energy with that live. So your homework for this episode 11, is 1, to think about what your goal is going to be, what you want to focus on this year, and really focus on your why and write it down using the tips I gave you in this episode. 2, make a vision board, however you choose to do so, digitally, in person, take a photo, whatever you want to do. 3, make a plan of how you're going to accomplish your goals specifically. So that looks like monthly, weekly, daily, chunking it down and looking at like how many, if I'm going to read books, like how many page counts do I need every day? Okay. So that's it. Very simple. I'm wishing you so much happiness and reflection while you're looking at 2019 and thinking about all the things that you accomplished. I know this year was not spectacular feeling for everyone, but I know that 2020 is going to bring us a lot of stability, and the chaos is going to feel a little less. And I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to working with you, and I'm looking forward to continuing to make videos on self-love for free here on my YouTube page. If you have not subscribed to my channel, it means a lot to me when you do. Please hit that subscribe button, please hit that like button, and share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. I really appreciate you supporting Uncustomary, and I hope to see you over in the Uncustomary Babes group. I will see you next time. Have an amazing day.